Hello YouTube, gamer nerds, anime geeks, Digimon tamers, and of course Digi-Destined. We are here for a new type of video in the sense that I'm going to be reviewing, you guessed it, a Digimon game. Now, this game is the newest title on the PS4 called Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. It is the sequel to the very popular and very well received Cyber Sleuth, the first game, for also the PS4. Now, these games coincide with each other, and if you guys may or may not have known, all 88 of my subscribers may possibly know that I have been a little MIA this week, and this game is the result. This game is the total result of my lack of video content. So now it's the following Friday after I picked up the game. I've beaten the game, have not yet platinumed it on my trophy list, but I am intending to do so. But I thought I would take a short break from that and actually review the game, do something like that, because I can't spent all week and all my time focused on the game, and I have not had enough time to come up with any other video ideas as we stand right now. Plus I have a funeral and an engagement party and a bunch of stuff to do this weekend, so I thought right now on this Friday I would try to get this video out to you guys, my loyal subscribers, and along with a couple of videos like the end of the Pokemon Silver Nuzlocke, things like that, until I can get away from the TV for 5 minutes and get back into full swing. So with that being said, let us review Digimon Hacker's Memory. So guys, this review will contain spoilers. That's my short disclaimer. If you don't like it, please exit the video, hit a dislike, and say that you want a review that has no spoilers and no content, and I can't do that. So, too bad. You can still post the comment and put a dislike, but at the end of the day, I am still going to, when I make a review, it's going to be about the entire thing. All my problems and all my likes about something. So, that being said, this review is going to assume, for the most part, that you have already played Cyber Sleuth, the first one. You might not have played Hacker's Memory, but you have definitely, you have some knowledge of the Digimon franchise, and you also have played Cyber Sleuth, the first game, because some of the stuff is very similar. For example, let's just start right off the bat with the gameplay. The gameplay is identical. There are some new added twists, some new added features, but at the end of the day, the gameplay is literally identical to the original game. This means that you have your party of 3 Digimon. The farm system is the same. You still go to the Digilab to do all your Digivolving and to raise them and all that stuff. The abilities of the current Digimon, they have added new Digimon in the game, but the original Digimon from all the, I believe there was 200 and something from the first game, all of them still have their same movesets, same abilities, same requirements for Digivolution, all that stuff. So that hasn't really changed too much. The changes I can go over right now are they have added something called Territory Capture and Domination Battles. Territory Capture is bullshit. Territory Capture is not a good addition. It is a time-consuming waste of my time because it does not yield any great rewards. It yields a couple of good items from some of them, but at the end of the day, most of the Territory Capture missions are very boring and very time-consuming because this is a style where, for those of you who don't know, in this game, you go into different cyberspace maps. You know, in a 3D world that you walk around. You can encounter random battles here, pick up items, and the like. So you walk around this usually 2 to 3 level map that's spread out a fair amount, and there's some tamers there. And they have these things. They have you are fighting a hacker team of tamers. Now these tamers have one leader, which you need to defeat to clear the map, who is very OP. But that being said, we're not quite there yet. You also have to collect emblems. Now these emblems can number anywhere from like 3 to 8, and they are guarded by the hacker team. Each one is guarded by another hacker who has a team of Digimon. You have to go there, collect the emblem, or change the emblem to your emblem, because this is once again territory capture. So this is a territory they own, you're trying to capture it. So you go up, you defeat the guy guarding the emblem, you click it, you change the emblem to yours. You have to do this to each of the emblems. You might ask why you have to do this to each of the emblems. Well, because you can reach the leader, but you are handicapped as hell. And I'm not exaggerating. You are really handicapped. Put it to you this way. If you, for example, were to, what's a great example? Okay, I don't have an analogy for this one, so I'm just going to explain what happens. Basically, if you go into this mission and you collect 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 0 out of 5, doesn't matter. If you do not have 5 out of 5 emblems, you have this handicap. The handicap could be anything. It could, you start the battle with poison, you start the battle with lowered attack, you start the battle asleep. Any of those things. So that's a bit of a bullshit thing, but whatever. The problem is the level of the Digimon you face. You can have a level 99 team on a 1-star territory capture map, a level 99 megas, fighting rookies, and you can still, you can win. I have won, but it is so time consuming because you do bare minimum damage. Their stats are through the roof. They're boosted beyond what a level 99 can have. And it is just ridiculous. It's just so time consuming. So if you want to quickly clear a couple of easy maps, you can't. You have to go through the whole thing and you have to collect all the emblems. And that is also very time consuming because you have random encounters, which I know you can turn off. But, you know, even so, you still have to face all the tamers, collect all the emblems. And here's the kicker. Here's the wonderful part, is the fact that at random, it seems to me, I've played enough of these missions, is that at random, you can collect, let's say, 2 of the emblems, 3, and then on your 3rd emblem, you collect it, and then it says, oh, one of your 2 emblems, and they won't tell you which one of them have been recaptured by the hacker team. So now you have to backtrack, go back, fight them again, and get your emblem back. And you have to get all 5. There's no rhyme or reason that I can find to it. There's none, and then you go up, and then you are not fighting handicapped anymore, and you can fight the leader. The leader still will have very powerful Digimon, at least I found. With my level 99 team, I still managed to, you know, still not have a hard battle, but definitely, like, I couldn't one-shot them or half-health them, like, you know, that or anything. So it was still a battle, but at least you're not handicapped to the point of them being OP and you being a little ant. But once again, this is so time consuming, and if it weren't for a trophy, I wouldn't even bother playing these missions, you know, because for a trophy you need to play these missions to get some of the events. So, you know, and I don't even know if I'm doing that right, to be honest with you. I've beaten this game so far, but I have not yet mastered it. I haven't platinumed the game yet. I platinumed the original game, but I have not yet done this one. That's why I'm taking a break. Now that I've beaten the game, I can give a full review. So that's the first new addition that I do not like. The second one is Domination Battle. I do like it. I do like the Domination Battle. It's very Fire Emblem-esque. For those of you who have watched my channel long enough, know I really do love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is a great game. It adds so many cool tactical mechanics. Really a big fan. And it is also time-consuming, but it's in a fun way. It's in a strategic way. You want to outthink. It's kind of, for anybody who likes chess, RTS games, you know, Risk, Fire Emblem, any of those type of games, you will definitely enjoy this style. It's a lot of fun. You have a party of 3 with their own sets of Digimon against another 3, and you go around trying to collect points. And it'll say like collect 35 points in 40 turns, or just collect 40 points, or destroy enemy team. You have a few different objectives, and they can swap, but basically it is a lot of fun. So please, guys, if you're gonna thinking about picking up this game, that is definitely there. I don't think there's enough of this style of gameplay in it, because I would say the bulk of it, 90 to 95% of the gameplay is still the old Cyber Sleuth game style method with the party of 3, very Final Fantasy-esque, you know, 3 versus 3 type of gameplay. So still, for RPG elements, you can't complain. You know, it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of mentality there. But overall, did really like the gameplay. Not a fan of the territory capture, but that's my thoughts on the gameplay. Now, there is new Digimon in this game, of course. They've added quite a few fan favorites. I have collected quite a few of them myself, and you can also import your save if you have a cleared save file from the original Cyber Sleuth game from your PS4 onto this one, and you can get a number of items along with your original field guide, so you can have a general idea on when you are digivolving. You will see all the Digimon forms already and the requirements if you import a completed save. So that really saves a lot of time and effort, I will say. You get some cool items as well from doing this. Now, story-wise, it's okay. It's not bad. It's alright. Some of the characters were cool. Don't like the design of the main character. I think he looks like a dork. Like, really like a dork. Because he's got these, like, tiny, beady little eyes, and he always looks like he's scared or dumbfounded or, like, goofy. I don't like that. He really does look a little bit like a creeper to me. Ryuji, one of the main characters, is kind of cool. He's the leader of your hacker team. He's kind of cool looking, but where he doesn't really have bulky muscles, this whole wearing a wife beater shirt the whole time is kind of weird. Erica is probably the best design. I think Erica is the little sister, one of your other teammates, and I do like. I'm gonna butcher this name. Chitosi. He is probably my favorite character. Other than returning characters, he's probably my favorite character because he's like the normal looking one who's got a lot of cool lines and is kind of funny and stuff like that. The rest of them are, as I said, okay. This story definitely pales in comparison to the original game, the first game of Cyber Sleuth, because these games run parallel to each other, and that seems to be a trope that no one wants to advance any of their stories anymore. Darksiders 2 did it; they ran parallel. What was another one that ran parallel? There's a couple of them, anyways. Can't think off the top of my head, but movies have started doing it, and so do sequel movies have been running parallel. Saw 3 and 4 did it, and games have done it, like as I said, Darksiders and Darksiders 2. They did this same thing, and I don't get why, because I find it annoying, but it can work, and I kind of like it in some respects, but overall it kind of hinders the story rather than helps it, because you already know what the ending is. I already know what's going to happen. I might not know what happens to my specific characters, but do I care that much versus the overall scheme of the world I've now immersed myself in? It's kind of like these Lord of the Rings games that go on at the same time as Frodo destroying the ring. Well, and everyone's like, oh, the Ring of Power must be recovered. Well, I know you're not going to recover the ring because the story says you're not. You're going to go after the One Ring. You might find the hobbits, but at the end of the day, and you might break what Tolkien wrote, but at the end of the day, Frodo is still going to go to Mount Doom and throw the ring in the fire, or Gollum will fall in the fire with the ring, and that'll be the end of it. So I already know from a story standpoint the ending, so I know that this character is not actually that relevant to the actual destruction of said ring. In the same sense, I know that these characters might have some contributions to make, but at the end of the day, the main cast from the original story, from the original game, were the chosen ones, the Digidestined, the saviors. What they did. Now, these guys might have helped, but I already could tell this once I figured out that this game happened at the same time. It was parallel. So that was kind of disappointing when I picked the game up. I found that really disappointing. That it was going to be like that, especially since the story is quite weak in that regard. The story was fun for a while to be just a regular hacker with a stolen account who is now trying to get back. And in this game, that's like your social insurance number or your social security card or whatever. It's basically your ID for the rest of the world. And it was stolen, and people badmouth you and say, stuff like that. It was hacked. So your main character goes through and he joins this hacker team to try and get it back. Now, there was a lot of potential for the story with the mysterious K character and what's the backstory between these old Jude members, Jude being an original hacker group from back in the day that we knew a lot about in the first game. It was really cool to see other Jude members other than Sonata, who was one of the characters from the first game. and they are now some of the main characters. That's really cool, following different characters this time, but it falls really flat, especially with the whole Erica thing. I find that storyline does not come to fruition in the way I would like it to, and we'll talk about that ending in the spoiler section here in a minute. But other than that, no, I thought that some of the, like, as I said, the story was good, but not great by any stretch. The best I could say is that it's a good story, but it's certainly not great. At some points, it seems very child-friendly, and then at other, like a Digimon game, you would almost expect it to. Then at other times, it's got some very dark themes, some kind of adult themes. And the only problem I have with this is it seems like sometimes they ruin entire plot threads for the sake of saying, well, it's a kid's game, it's a kids watch the TV, kids watch the story, kids, so it's okay to have these lame cliches and these lame endings and stuff like that. Not the ending of the game being lame, but ends to plot threads. But then other times they decide to have these really dark themes in the middle of it, and it's like, well, if you're doing that, why can't you do that all the way through, you know what I mean? So I think the excuse that it's meant for kids falls really flat with this game. That's not an excuse for anything that happens in this game, because they have, at other points, have darker elements and more adult-based worldviews and opinions and stuff. So, but yeah, that being said, why don't we just jump into the spoiler section? So let's go through the two problems I had with the game, and that's why we have this spoiler section, because there are two story-related problems. The first being the identity of K. The identity of K is your best friend, you. Now, the problem with that, the problem with that is it's so cliche, and not that it's so cliche is not the biggest issue. The issue is that they foreshadow it. They basically, kid-friendly here, pump it into your head that there is nobody else suited to be K. They don't have any other plot threads to show anybody else. They don't bring about the fact that it could potentially be any of these three people. The main character doesn't question, well, maybe it's Erica, or maybe it's Ryuji, or maybe it's that mysterious Sonata guy who shows up once in a while. No. It's blatantly basically shown to you long before the actual reveal that it's that who it is, and then when the reveal happens, they hammer it into you for the 5 minutes before so damn hard that you'd have to almost be an invalid or have your eyes closed the entire time and not understand Japanese. That is what you would have to do for this to be a surprise. That would be the only thing, to close your eyes and listen to described video and not actually understand the dialogue. That would be the only way to make this an actual surprise, and that is shitty writing. That's terrible. This would have been an okay cliche if I didn't see it coming. But I saw it coming. I saw it coming 5 chapters before the reveal, and it was kind of lame. It was kind of stupid. Especially the fact that it was a Digimon, and not a cool one. I mean, I'm sorry for guys who like that Metrodomon or whatever the hell it is, but it's just a lame ultimate level. Why does this ultimate level Digimon have all this damn power in a mask? A second-rate hacker puts a mask on with an ultimate level Digimon in it, and all of a sudden this thing becomes god of an entire cyber world which houses things like Omnimon? Are you kidding me? This makes no goddamn sense for the plot of the story, especially since Cyber Sleuth has already established the world and established what's strong and what's not, and the Royal Knights and 7 Deadly Digimon and all this stuff. We've already met Beelzemon and all this stuff, and you're telling me, and we've seen War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, Omnimon, we'd run into Alphamon and all these people, and K's is this ultimate level piece of crap? No, what they should have made that is Venom Myotismon or somebody, who we're not even going to talk about him because I'm still not at the Abyss server. But all these, you could have had a really cool Mega, or even, what about Lucemon? That would have been a cool little cameo, right? What about the Digimon Sovereigns, the 4 holy beasts who never frickin' show up in any of these games because they're so OP, yet we're allowed to have the 7 Deadly, we're allowed to have the Royal Knights, we're allowed to have, these crazy other ones like Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. Really, we're allowed to have that thing? but we can't have, yeah, anyways, never mind that. So I don't understand why they had to do it this way. They could have had so much potential with this K character. I was very interested because I sat there when I first saw K and I thought, there's a hint in the first game. I should know who's behind that mask in this game. You know, that is where I was running with this. But no, it ended up being the best friend who didn't do nothing, you know, and this best friend who totally, like, this could just be the English translation for the dialogue, but this game makes it seem like that person, your best friend, is a girl who is hiding her gender for whatever reason, and the main character is oblivious to it. It is laid on so thick that that's the case so often, and she states it herself that she was, you know, picked on and stuff because of this fact, blatantly, you know, and people refer to her as a girl a couple of times in the story. Now, there might be a side mission that I have not yet played, and she may still be revealed to be a girl, but use a girl. I don't care what anybody said. That is not a boy. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry, like they laid it on so thick that she, like, Yu is supposed to basically be a girl hiding her gender, you know, and I don't care. I mean, we have the Yuko and Faye, you know, little kind of lovers lesbian thing going on, and that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. Just be honest with it, you know. Even if, I mean, it might be a bit of adult themed for this game, but once again, that's a gray area with the Digimon franchise right now, and this game in particular. So, I mean, even if you wanted to make you anything, man, boy, or man, boy, same thing, girl, you know, I don't know, lesbian, hell, something, anything, you know, a transsexual or whatever, you could make them anything you wanted. I just didn't understand why we had so much investment into Yu's gender, kind of a question mark in the air thing, for it to go nowhere. You know, like, was I the only one who read into that? Please post in the comments below. I mean, no offense to anybody in the LGBT or anything like that. I'm curious. Was I reading too much into the dialogue? Is it just the way the character's drawn? Like, is it supposed to just be a rather feminine looking guy? Because that's what I thought, especially the whole, you can't explain the date sequence to me and say that there wasn't potential for that to be the case. You can't explain that whole useless dates chapter. No, you just can't. So yeah, the reveal of K was kind of bad, and it was very cliche, and I didn't like the ultimate level Digimon. And the fact of the matter is that when you have a character like that with so much potential and then ruin them to that point, that really turns you off, especially for the rest of the story, which does not get better. It doesn't, because we're still following Erica's plotline, where Erica, of course, is dying from this crazy brain function where she has all the memories all the time, so she links herself to the Eden server and gets all the memories, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. Now, I know the ending of the game was supposed to be a tribute or whatever to, I might butcher this name, and I apologize, all respect given, Wada Kyoji, something like that. He was the one who created the Butterfly song for the original Digimon adventure, along with numerous other songs for Digimon Tri, Frontier. I don't have a whole discography here or anything on the computer, guys, but yeah, a major contributor to the Digimon franchise as a whole for all of us and for the Digimon team. So I understand that that was part of the reasoning for this ending, but that does not mean the ending had to be like that, because it was laid on so thick in once again, with the K storyline going the way it was. Just gonna put that in your brains, guys. The way the K storyline went, very cliche, very Pokemon episode for a 10-year-old to watch, right? I know who the bad guy is. Mentality. K. Pun not intended. To have us follow Erica's story from chapter 1 to 18, and her constantly falling, constant hospital trips, an entire rage induced Ryuji older brother thing, and the entirety of all the stuff going into her memory twice, I think maybe even 3 times, definitely twice. We go into her memory server and see all these sad, depressing moments and all these problems and all the, there's just shit, her parents are dead and she's experimented on and she can't be saved and she's living on borrowed time. It's basically like with a terminal cancer patient through the whole game. But the thing is that you have this belief. We are led to believe somehow, it's not stated, I know that, but somehow you're led to believe that this is a Digimon game. And look at the K storyline, we're going to save the world. So that means we're going to save the main character. She's one of the main characters. You can't have her die, right? You can't have her die. No, apparently you can have her turn into a Digimon and then... see, it's actually worse than her dying. What we could have done was bring her back, right? You bring her back and yeah, she dies at a young age. But she was happy in the end, right? No. It's far worse, and I'll tell you why this ending was worse. Because the ending that you guys, I'm assuming you've seen it, because detailing it would make this review way too long. But basically, during this ending, we have Erika and Wormmon basically digifuse into this Hoodimon Digimon. Hoodie or Hoodai being the team name for the hacker team of the main characters. Okay, fine, dandy, whatever. And so she is now a Digimon, and Erika and Wormmon all in one. She can kind of swap between them. She says she's not really Erika, she's new Erika, and anyways. And of course in the game of the in the original game, we're of course resetting the world and whatever. That's how that story went. But in this particular instance, this causes a problem because now, of course, they're all going to be erased. So where Digimon and humans never met. Okay, fine. So this is a kind of, I'm going to go, I always wanted to go see that digital world ever since I heard about it from Wormmon. I want to go see it. I want to be a part of it, Okay, that shitty, but I can get behind. Your solution was to become a Digimon so you're not terminal anymore. Fine, Danny, you're still Erika. We can still talk to you and converse with you and whatever. But now we are going to forget about you. You're going to go off. You're not going to reincarnate yourself which it sounded to me in the English translation when I was watching the ending 2 nights ago, is that she had the potential to choose to basically de-digivolve and go back to being Erika again. But terminal Erika, but still Erika, and come back with us. Didn't happen. She chose to stay as a Digimon, go to and have new adventures with the other Digimon in the digital world. Fine. That is where it should have ended. Because then we have this scene at the end of the game, after all this has happened. The world's reset. No Digimon, no nothing. Ryuji's parents are alive. Ryuji and Erika's parents are alive. Okay, that's cool. Ryuji's a happy dude now. He's got none of this problems and anything. Chitoshi, his best friend, is happy. Everybody's happy. Everyone's having a good time. You still join the hacker team. You has now basically replaced Erika, which is another piss off because I hate that character. He is now part of the team too, and Ryuji and him don't get along, it seems, and stuff. And everybody's happy and everyone's good. Then we see the scene where the main character just stops for a second. He turns and looks at the door that we all know that Erika was in the entire game. Through that door was her computer setup, and that's where she sat. So he walks over there. Just this feeling. Opens the door, and it's a storage closet. And we knew we weren't going to find Erika. We all knew it. But, yeah, okay. So that's sad enough. And then, of course, we see the, no eye shot and the tear going down the face thing. Okay. Kind of get me a little choked up with this one, okay? So everyone, because it seems to me now everyone has forgotten Erika. And I know it was stated right before, but this scene drives that home. This scene drives home that they're all happy and content, and Erika's not there. That is bullshit. That is sad as fuck. That's depressing. Because, and then after he leaves the room, then the butterfly, and he walks out to join his friends, the butterfly, the symbol for Erika, flies by him. And he turns and looks at that too. Like, it's a double whammy. And then the butterfly goes into the storage closet, and then on the screen, end, or the end, or whatever it says, and you see a little Erica pixelated with Wormmon. I'm sitting there like, fucking, like, the problem with this ending, the problem that I personally have, is that it was stated right before we see this scene, like, I chose that I would remember. I wouldn't forget. Fuck resetting my mind and fuck this and fuck that. I'm the main character sort of mentality. Like, I decide I'm not going to forget you. Through the sands of time and all this stuff, destiny brought us together. We are, we have a connection. I can't forget you. I will always remember everything you did, And then he doesn't. He's got an inkling and a tear down his face because his soul remembers, but he doesn't. And there's no indication that he's going to remember. None of them are. I hate every single one of them now. I hate all these characters who didn't have the willpower. World reset on a Digimon? Screw it. I don't care. Make these characters better than that. Bring home a message. A message that, like love is stronger than everything. That's been a message in Digimon, Pokemon, all these animes for a long time. This is not an R-rated anime, guys. This is a video game with a plot and a story where the good guys win. They save the world, blah, blah, blah. You can't do this to us. You can't have, especially with such a cliche bullshit, spoon-fed storyline with all the great potential like K's, and then give us this dark, depressing, sad as hell moment. Now, kids might take something else away from this. They might not see the depressing implications of this. They might say, oh, look, he cried because he remembers. Yay! No, he doesn't. That's the problem. He can't understand why the tear's there, and then he just walks away from the storage room. He had an inkling, a feeling, a tug, a pull on his soul. That was it. And there's no indication that it's going to go beyond that. So, yeah, ending. I know that was a bit of a rant, guys, but what do you guys think in the comment section below? Please tell me, because everything that I read also says the same thing. Like, this is sad as fuck. This is just sad. I mean, I'd like a good, it was a good ending, but it did not fit the rest of the story. Now, there might be some genius in this. There might be some genius because the whole game made us believe we were the saviors. We're the hero. We're in a Digimon game. We're going to save the world, save the girl, save the whole thing. Nobody dies. Nope. No. And see, it's worse. See, it would have been okay to have the goodbye, like, we'll see you again, we will meet again sort of thing. And then, Erica never goes back to being Erica, but she's been reborn. She has her memory. She knows who she is as a Digimon, and she's going to have new adventures in the Digimon world. It's a tough goodbye, but it's still a happy moment. This is depressing and sad, and I don't like any of the characters as a result for forgetting her. It's unforgivable for me, guys. It just nails it home. It just nails something in the coffin. I don't know why I'm so affected by this. I don't have experience with this. Maybe because I'm going to a wake tomorrow for a friend of mine who died at the age of 26. That's really sad. Yeah, I don't want to bring that up in this video too much. But I don't know what it is. It just I just feel like this was like a slap to you as the player. It's a slap to your face. Like, you thought she was just gonna say goodbye. No, guess what? She's not only is she as a human a dead human, she wasn't even born in the human world anymore, and nobody remembers her, and everyone's forgotten her, and everyone's gonna live happy lives without her around. That is the saddest thing I have seen, watched, heard in such a long time. It is just, yeah. So I think spoilers are done here, guys. I might leave a timestamp thing if I figure out how to do that. But that's the end of the spoilers. I'm pretty sure I'll talk about some post-game content next. But yeah. So anyways, please, guys, as I said before, post in the comments below what did you think of the story, and and just on one last note. since the main characters from the first game were the ones who actually saved the world and did everything, that makes everything here irrelevant. It really does. Like nothing, like the Eden destruction thing wouldn't have mattered. Like the entire arc of the last half of this game had no bearing. And Ryuji was actually right to just be pissed off and go destroy everything with a Digimon. Because at the end, Erica is still not around. He's now forgotten her. The world was reset because of characters, because of things outside of this game's control. So what was the point? It's the same with Darksiders 2. Spoilers for Darksiders 2 coming up in 3, 2, 1. Death sacrifices himself to bring back humanity, but War broke the seventh seal to bring Death back to life anyway. So the whole game was a waste of time. It was just to play a game. There was no story-wise, nothing has changed. Other than the fact that humanity is back. But is that going to be a big effector? They totally got massacred the first time. What did they do? Level up while all dead in the Well of Souls? No, of course not. So this, like a waste of time thing, that's the problem. This game did the same thing. So, anyways, moving on. So let's see. Let's do a count. We went over gameplay. We went over story. We went over the problems with the story. We went through the spoiler section. Post-game content. Got a bit of a problem with this because there is a pre-order that I did not get. And it brings along some DLC Digimon. And apparently that is the way you beat the post-game content. This would not bother me, except for the fact that I am a bit of a trophy hunter myself on the PS4. And there's a trophy to beating this post-game content. And I do not have the DLC, and there's not even an option to buy this in the store. And everyone's solution online is to get that DLC. But I can't get that DLC. Everyone's saying use the DLC Digimon. It's broken as hell, easy to win. But I can't do that. I cannot do that because I didn't pre-order it. So I'm going through my old methods and my other methods, and I should be able to do it. But I can't really say a whole lot about the post-game content yet because I haven't done it. Because I can't do it because it's blocked. It's called the Abyss server, and it's blocked by a Venomyotismon who is broken, who is OP as hell. And if anybody here would like to show me how to beat him without a DLC Digimon, I've been looking on YouTube and have found no one who's done that yet. I might be one of the first ones to do it this way. I do not know. But I've got a few strategies that I'm coming up with now. But yeah, so there is that. Of course, there's the offline Coliseum from the first game. It's the same idea. You bronze, silver, gold, legendary, Master Cup. There might be one in between there. Platinum Cup, I know there is. There's a lot of cups there where you fight 5 battles consecutively of different teams, and you get some cool perks and stuff, and a trophy at the end. That's really cool. There's the addition of new Digimon. I think I already said that. I'm really missing the fact that we still don't have a Zulongmon or any of the other 4 holy beasts. Really want them to just even make an appearance. Maybe you can't actually obtain one, but it'd be really, really cool for them to make an appearance alongside like the Royal Knights. Like maybe they clash over who actually should make the decision in the digital world or something. Maybe that's for the actual Cyber Sleuth 2, because this is kind of like a 1.5. Because once again, parallel game happens at the same time. Very strange trope that people seem to gain. It gained popularity anyways in the last decade for sure. Sound wise, it's good. Same basics, the sound and everything from the original game, which was pretty good. Post game content other than that, the online Coliseum, I got all the trophies for that. I'm not a big fan of the online Coliseum. I don't use it other than for trophy purposes. If you're into that, it's fine. It seems okay. It's pretty customizable. But other than that, it's not the reason I play the game. I play the game to get all the really cool Digimon and use them in battle and stuff for XP, EXP, and for post-game content and stuff like the Abyss server and stuff. I don't use the online Coliseum too much. Collecting all the Digimon medals. Now here's a very vital thing for everyone who doesn't know. This game does have a new game plus, so that is a bonus. But the thing is that Digimon medals, there are 700 of them in this game. For those of you who played the first game, getting the 500 medals is very time consuming. It's what makes this a very time consuming game, or one of the big parts of why it's a time consuming game. If you import your save and get your items and stuff, the bonus items, you also get all the medals you have delivered to the metal man, to the metal collector. Not that you obtained, but the ones that you have delivered. So if you got the original 500 in the first game, you transfer, now you only need the new 200. So note that, please, because I didn't know that at first. Thankfully, I imported my save and just happened to import because I had a few saves. I happened to import the one that had 497 medals, but I got the other three, no big deal in this run, because you can collect all 700, but you'll save yourself a shit ton of time if you've collected any of them, really. Like, let's say you have 280 of them. Well, still, that's 280 now. You don't have to collect in this one if you want to collect all the medals. That's all I'm saying. So that's good to note. There are some missable trophies and stuff, but that's the point in the New Game Plus. You can always use New Game Plus. The additions to the new Digimon were cool. But as I said, it felt like it was the same game. You're in the same area, same old maps, same characters, same story was going on at the same time. Overall, I would give the game a solid 8 out of 10. I'd give this game a solid 8. I would again, definitely the first Cyber Sleuth is 8.5 to 9. Very innovative, a lot of different risque new RPG elements, the right level of difficulty without like swapping the difficulty level too much. A great roster, great game mechanics, great story, all that stuff. This one was just a kind of subpar version of the same thing because it's very hard to rate a game and say, oh, this game, well, this really innovative new style of gameplay, we copied the exact same thing and did it again. It's very hard to compliment them on that when they haven't really changed it. They added 2 new elements to it, but as I said, one was a flop for me, and one was a good new element, but it doesn't make up for the fact that it was a copy and paste of the original gameplay and maps and everything, which was a big reason why people didn't like Dragon Age 2 so much, because the repeat of all the maps. This game did the same thing, repeat a lot of the maps. Now for me, that made it very easy because I knew where I was going. So beating the game and knowing where everything was relatively simple because there was only the addition of 1 or 2 new maps, and that was it. And the overworld, in the underworld, there was or in Eden, there was an addition of quite a few new maps, but it wasn't that well expanded, guys, is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else to really touch upon. Yeah, the reception-wise, I guess it seemed to do pretty well. I see a lot of like 35 out of 40, 41 out of 50s, 4-star, 3.5 star. What else we got here? 8 out of 10, 9.5. Who gave it a 9.5? Jesus. But it's very easy to go back and say, well, the game is so great, the game is so awesome because of Cyber Sleuth 1, but you have to try to break away from that and realize this has been done before. It's been done before. They already did this. This is a copy and paste and a redone, so you have to take some points off for that because there wasn't really enough new addition as far as that goes. I guess sales didn't do very well, according to what I'm reading here, in Japan. Or they did well, but just not, they expected to do way better. There's not a whole lot of information on it yet, guys, because as far as that goes, because the game is still relatively new and stuff. But yeah, tell me what you guys all thought of the game. If you are thinking of picking up the game, if this helped you, to pick up the game. If you want to hear my thoughts on Cyber Sleuth, the first game, I can always bring that up. I think I brought enough information to the table in this review to that. But seriously, if you guys are Digimon fans and you like RPGs and you like a little bit of some story and some third-person overworld stuff, this is the game for you guys. It really is. If you have a love of Digimon, if you have some nostalgia trip, if you're a 90s kid like I am, then you will love these games. If you have that gamer mentality, if you grew up with a PlayStation or an N64 or something, and you like your old-fashioned RPGs, and you love your Pokemon, your Digimon, your Yu-Gi-Oh sort of thing, on nostalgia alone, the game makes it. When you get your first, for example, for me, one of my favorite Digimon, Wargreymon and Omnimon, love them. When I got my first Wargreymon, man, I felt so good. I was so happy. It was so cool. Is Wargreymon the strongest in the game? Well, he's pretty freaking beast, actually. But no, of course not. You know, there's way stronger Digimon, but they're not cool. They're not my War Greymon. War Greymon, I have a whole team of War Greymons, for God's sake. I literally have a whole team. And when I finally managed to, because I also didn't pre-order Cyber Sleuth, which had Black War Greymon, in this game, you can get Black War Greymon. So I have a whole team of War Greymons and Black War Greymons. I am not lying, guys. I have a whole team of them. Sorry, I have an Omnimon in the mix. I do have an Omnimon in the mix. But yeah, so you know, for that nostalgia trip alone, it's a great investment, and it's long enough. It's a very time-consuming game. It takes a long time. You know, if you actually read the dialogue and watch the story and development, it's not bad. It's for being a parallel at the same time happening thing. It's story-wise, it's okay, and the ending wouldn't make me so frustrated and kind of sad and stuff if I wasn't already invested in the characters, you know. So you do get invested. It is really good. Let me know what you guys think. As once again, if this review helped you want to pick it up. If you think differently from me and played the game and thought something totally different, please post in the comments below your thoughts. Give me some, you know, constructive criticism, stuff like that. Always love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Griever with your Digimon Hacker's Memory review. So thank you to all the Digidestined and Digitamers who were watching this video. This has been Griever once again. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace.